Hey guys, Helen here. Welcome back to my channel and to another vlog. Today I am finally doing the breastfeeding one. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but first, before I sit down and chat through like feeding, pumping, storing milk, I need to clean up our kitchen. So Emery's down for a nap. Hopefully it'll be a decent one so I can get the kitchen done, and then I want to sit down and share some products with you guys, talk through the things that I love and how I go about it. As you can see, it is so gloomy out. We are getting a bunch of rain, totally April showers. Hopefully it'll bring a lot of green and flowers, of course, but yeah, so let me get to cleaning up and then we will get to the video. Okay, so the kitchen is clean. Emery is still napping, so I am gonna try to get through this before she wakes up, but I am gonna have my phone next to me, and we use the Nanit monitor, which I will link below, and we absolutely love it. Not only does it kind of, you know, obviously it works the same as any monitor. You can see her, you can hear her, all of that good stuff, but it also tracks when she wakes up in the middle of the night, and you get logs all the time of how they slept the night before. So, and then it also like gives you a weekly rundown of her sleep, and it tracks nap times as well as night sleep. It's pretty neat. So we really, really enjoy it. Like I said, it's the Nanit monitor, and what's cool about it is it's like this big, and you can actually just take the camera with you when you travel, and we have a little stand for it. So I actually take it with us wherever we go, and that way, whether we're like in a hotel room or at a family's house or friend's house, we can always see her on our phones. It just connects to the Wi-Fi. So pretty cool. Just wanted to share that little bit. And then also let me grab all my breastfeeding stuff and get going on that conversation. All right, here we go. So I want to start with my breastfeeding journey and how it kind of played out for me. And then hopefully these like tips and my experience will help you out. So first off, I knew I wanted to breastfeed as long as it was something that was attainable, and for some reason I was really freaked out about if my milk supply would like come in or not. I guess I just heard, you know, stories of milk not coming in and all that stuff. So mine came in on, I believe it was the first day we were back home from the hospital, so on day 4 actually. So obviously I had like the colostrum and stuff the first couple of days. Emery did a really good job of eating often and having like pretty long lengths of feedings, and I guess that helps, you know, if your baby, the more your baby's on, the more likely it is that your milk's gonna come in, and it'll come in well. So she did a great job doing that the first few days, and so my milk came in, but it came in really hot. Like, I was so engorged, and you guys, I'm like a size A, and so naturally, and so then with like getting that much milk in that quickly, it was really painful. So I had a pretty rough like first, I don't know, week and a half, 2 weeks or so, and I did see a lactation consultant at the hospital a couple days after we came home, which was really actually helpful. I did appreciate that. What not only did they like weigh her before and after feeding so you can make sure that she's getting enough, but she also chatted with me about like my engorgement and what I could do about it. And what she really recommended, and is what helped me the most, is you don't want to like over pump, because the more you pump, the more baby eats, the more your body thinks it needs to produce milk. And so I didn't want to just like pump a ton and then, you know, continue being so full and engorged. And that's what I was like stressing out about, so I didn't know how much I should or shouldn't pump. And so what my lactation consultant told me was that you should just like pump about an ounce or so from each side to a comfortable point. So after she would eat, if it was still pretty engorged, I would pump a little bit. And then also even when Emery was like taking naps, if I was so full and uncomfortable, I would also pump a little bit. What was the benefit of being super engorged originally was that I then had all this milk to store. So now in our deep freezer in the garage, we have like, I don't know, 200 ounces or so of milk that was just from those first couple of weeks when my body was trying to figure out how much I needed to produce. So that in itself was really helpful, and I do appreciate the like initial engorgement phase for that reason. but otherwise it was really uncomfortable. Obviously she was eating, we were told to feed her every 3 hours until she reached back to her birth weight, which only took like about a week or so that was really nice. And then after that we continued to feed her I say we, but I continued to feed her. My husband was super, super helpful throughout this whole process because I was like not only uncomfortable and in pain, but also like running on little sleep. And so he was super helpful with everything. And, you know, obviously, so I say we, but I guess I would feed her every 3 hours during the day. And then once we got the okay from our pediatrician, we started letting her sleep as long as she wanted in the evening. Honestly, she still woke up every 3 to 4 hours for a while anyways to eat, but it was nice to not have to like wake her for those feedings. So then after that engorgement phase kind of finally went away, it was probably like after like the first 2.5, 3 weeks or so, my body was starting to figure out how much I should produce for her, which then was like way more comfortable. And though I do recommend if you are going through that engorgement phase, don't over pump, but take a hot shower, pump like off like an ounce or so from each side just to comfort, and then store that milk. And honestly, it'll be really nice in the future to have that stored up. So that was my initial experience. As far as her latching, she latched great, but I did use a nipple shield for the beginning because because I was so engorged, like it was hard for her to actually latch on. And so the nipple shield helped a ton, and it also helped like to not get too sore right off the bat. So I do still have them, and I still use them like whenever I want to. I feel like she's pretty flexible with eating, you know, from the nipple shield, from the breast, from the bottle, and so I don't feel like I shouldn't use it. I would obviously, you know, talk to your lactation consultant before you use anything like that, but they are so helpful, and I don't really see why it's like bad to use them. I know some people have like weird thoughts on that, so make your own decision based off of how you feel about nipple shield, but honestly I really enjoy it, and it helped us a lot, especially at the beginning, so I'm all for them, but that's just my opinion. So that was the beginning. So the first 4 weeks I would only feed her from myself, and then I would pump if I was still really full, and then I would obviously store that milk. Then the other thing that I had right off the bat, and I was using it straight away, was this Haakaa pump. So one thing that I want to show you guys that I didn't know the first few weeks is how to put it on. And the purpose of it, I know some people use it actually like in replacement of a pump. It just depends on your body on how well it works for you. For me, I only use it when she's feeding, and I'll put it on the other side because my other side will leak. And I know, again, like everyone's different, so some people leak, some people don't. But what I really like about this is that I'll get like an ounce or two from each feeding on the other side. Not only does that help me like feel a little bit better and relieved, but also then I have milk to put in the fridge and store. So the way you put it on, actually, which I didn't know, I thought before you just squeeze, like stick it on and release, and it did suction, but it didn't suction like crazy well. What is really cool, once I actually learned how to do it properly, so you fold these down here, and as it's folded, you also squeeze, you stick it on, and then you release this part of it, and then it really suctions super well. So I will have this linked as well, but it's the Haakaa silicone pump. They have different sizes. This one is just the 4-ounce one, and it is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break, get a little drink of water, 1 second. Okay, so to continue on with what I do with the Haakaa pump and like what I do on a daily basis. So basically I put this on the other side after she's done feeding. I have about like anywhere from 1 to 3 ounces sometimes in here. And what I'll do is each day I'll start a new one of these bottles, and I will pour it into one of these Medela bottles and put the lid on it. And this actually has like days on it, which is neat. So you just like lift it up, twist, put the day that it is, click it in place, and then stick it in your organizer. This organizer thing, we got the whole system with it. It's really neat. I really like it. We stick it in the fridge and it works great. The reason why I have this whole organizer and stuff is because it really helps with bottle feeding. So for example, after one feeding, I'll have like an ounce or two in here. And then what I'll do to continue on, so you don't want to combine milk if it's warm and cold. So since I have cold milk in the fridge already, the next feeding that I get out of the Haakaa pump, I'll actually put it in this little cylinder. It's only like a 2.5-ish ounce cylinder. It's Medela. It also comes with this whole system. And then so I will pour that from the Haakaa into here, close it off and stick it in here. And then that next feeding then, now that these are both cold, I will pour from here into the bigger bottle and then the warm milk into here and continue on until this is completely full. Once this is full, if it's the same day, I'll start a new bottle. Some days I only get one of these, some days I get multiple, so it just kind of depends. So from there, what I'll do is we like move it along this way, so it goes in this side, out this side, so then you know like which is the oldest milk and what's the newest. Milk is good in the refrigerator for 4 or 5 days. I rarely keep it in there for that long. Usually it's only like 1 to 2 or 3 days, but if I am filling this up quite a bit, I'll actually use freezer bags and get it in the freezer because I know I won't need it much, like just sitting in the refrigerator. And we now, with her bedtime routine, we bottle feed her. At this age now, she drinks a whole 8-ounce bottle in the evenings for her last feeding. And so I'll use this milk here to fill up the 8-ounce bottle. This is the Comotomo Bottles. We started bottle feeding at about week 3. Our pediatrician said that was totally fine. We didn't think she would have any issues going back and forth with like nipple confusion or anything like that. She didn't. Super easy in that sense for the baby. We were really grateful. So we now can bottle feed her throughout the day. Sometimes we bottle feed her for her last feeding at night, so that way my husband can do it sometimes. And then if I'm like running errands, I always make sure I have a little bit of milk stored in the fridge, whether it's my mother-in-law who's watching her or my husband. It's just like such a relief to have milk in the fridge, because if the baby's supposed to nap for an hour and she only naps for like 20 minutes and I'm still not home and she's screaming because she's starving, like they can just grab it out of the fridge and feed her. It's just such a stress reliever for me and then for whoever's watching her as well. So I highly recommend doing that. The cool thing about this whole process that I do is I rarely use my actual pump, but now that we are feeding her a full bottle in the evenings, for that last feeding around 7:30, then after I put her down for bed or my husband puts her down to bed, I always pump before I go to bed. Usually anywhere around like 8:30 or 9, I will do a full pump on both sides, and that's where my like milk supply really gets stored up. But honestly, like this adds up because I feed her multiple times throughout the day, and this really adds up, which I am so grateful for, because that milk is not wasted. The suction of this also is what like pulls more milk out, and that's what helps you produce a little bit more. So with all of that being said, okay, before I move on, I wanted to show you guys the bags that we use. So I got a Medela pump right off the bat. We got everything Medela. We really like it. We like this whole little system. I like the pump. It all works well for me, so that's what I went with. But these bags are great. You just like tear here, and then it's a Ziploc, and you can write the date at the top of it, fill it full, or 6-7 ounces or so, seal it off and put it in the freezer. So these bags are like a must-have if you're gonna freeze milk. That's honestly obviously the best way to do it. So those are really convenient. And then I wanted to show you guys also, I said I do a full pump in the evenings on both sides. And one of these rods is such a game changer. I don't know why I went like the first 8 or 9 weeks without it. I don't know why I did that, but I would just do one side at a time, or I would sit there holding both of the pumps. And I was like, there has to be a better way, and I know I make these bras, but I don't really think they like worked that well. But I got the Medela one, and this is a small game changer. So you just stick the these guys like in through here. So this side gets attached to your breast. This comes out here. You put this on with the bottle, and then it's a total hands-free thing. I don't know why I didn't like believe in it initially. I never even got it right off the bat. It's like $30, so worth it. Now I just sit there with this on, pump both sides within like 15-20 minutes. I get about 8 or 9 ounces or so for the last pump of the day. And then I have stopped pumping after that, and I don't pump in the middle of the night unless she wakes up in the middle of the night. Now my body has gotten used to her sleeping most of the night. She doesn't sleep through the night every single night, but she has been doing a great job of that, which is like so awesome. But those first few nights of her sleeping longer till like 4 or 5 a.m., I would wake up like just so full. And so what I did was the same thing that the lactation consultant had told me to do initially, and I would get out of bed, pump just like an ounce or so off of each side just to feel better, and then I would get back in bed and continue sleeping until she woke up. So I did that just for a couple nights. It is crazy how quickly your body gets used to like how much milk your baby actually needs and what time of day she needs it. And it wasn't very long. It was only a couple nights until I was able to like make it through the whole night. But I do wake up every morning super full, and so after she's done eating her first feeding, which is usually around anywhere between 7 and 8 a.m., I will then pump the rest of it out. So that's also what really helps me boost up like my milk supply in the fridge and the freezer, is I always feel like pretty full in the mornings, and because I continue to feed her and pump, my body knows it needs to produce a lot of milk by like 7 a.m. And so yes, it's uncomfortable when I first get out of bed. I can't do a workout or anything like that before she's awake because I am super uncomfortable, but it's helping me get like 6 extra ounces pumped after she's already eaten her fill, which I would assume is anywhere from like 6 to 9 ounces. So it is a lot of milk in the morning, but then my body throughout the rest of the day is used to only producing basically what she eats and then the little bit that I get out of here. So that's kind of how it is now. Obviously, initially when you're feeding every 3 hours, you don't even think like I want to pump or I need to pump, and that's totally fine. You really don't need to unless like you have to start building a milk supply. Then I would recommend always pumping after your baby's done eating. Pump like a little bit and just it'll add up. But once your baby starts sleeping through the night, that's when I take advantage of it and start like telling my body that you want to have a lot of milk early in the morning. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I wanted to show you guys with the Medela pump. I have this that plugs in the wall, but also it comes with a battery pack charger. So you put batteries into it back here, just like 4 AA's, and then it fits, and then you just plug it in here instead of the wall one, and it actually works pretty darn well. I was really surprised. We went snowmobiling a few weeks ago, and we were gone all day. Emery stayed back with my mother-in-law. I had left a bunch of milk ready for her, but I knew I was gonna have to pump, so at like the lodge that we stopped at to get lunch, I went into the bathroom, stood in the bathroom stall, used the battery pack of it, pumped both sides, had my bra, like it was so simple, pumped both sides, put it in bags, and off we went. I am fortunate, I guess, in that like pumping doesn't take me super long. I feel like her feedings actually take longer than pumping, but I can pump both sides, get about like 6 ounces total in 15-20 minutes. So I feel like, I don't think that's like crazy fast or anything, but I feel like it's pretty good. And then let's talk supply a little bit. So it definitely comes and goes. It's kind of crazy. I can always ensure that in the mornings I'll be pretty full because of the whole night off. But otherwise, like sometimes that like 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. feeding, for some reason I start getting really low. And I think it's because I'll eat breakfast, but then I get busy in the morning and I try to like fit a workout in while she's taking her first nap and stuff, and then my milk supply slowly starts to drop. So what I have been doing is I make my lactation cookies, I put them in the freezer, and I take out like 4 at a time into the fridge. and I try to eat like 1 or 2 of those a day. They're really tasty. It has the flaxseed and the brewer's yeast in it, which is what, as well as oats, which is what all help you increase your milk supply. And so those are actually like super helpful for me. So anyways, I think that's like pretty much everything I wanted to go through. She looks like she might be starting to wake up, so I might have to go in a minute. But I did also want to show you guys this nipple butter from Earth Mama. This saved me in the first couple weeks. I still use it. When she goes through growth spurts and she wants to eat a ton, this stuff really helps because you do get sore no matter how long you've been breastfeeding. I feel like everyone does occasionally if your baby's going through a growth spurt. So this nipple butter is also linked, and I love this stuff. So anyways, that's kind of like my biggest tips. This is my whole process of how I go through it. I love this pump. Everyone needs this, and I'm a big Medela fan. I know everyone has their different like brands that they love, but this has worked really well for me. So everything's going to be linked down below. I hope this was helpful in like sharing how I do my whole system, and hopefully that'll help you out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys are doing well on your breastfeeding journey. If you're pregnant, I'm super excited for you. Congratulations. Being a mom is like, seriously, it's tough at times, but it is really amazing. I'm getting emotional even thinking about it, and I'm like 14 weeks postpartum and I still get emotional. But I am gonna go get my little babe. She is waking up from her nap, and thank you guys so much for watching. My blog is broodblonde.com. I'm Helen B. Peterson on Instagram. Please follow me. Let me know if this video was helpful. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day, and good luck with all of this stuff. Once you get it down, it really is just a system, and it's awesome.